Hey, what's going on, everybody? I hope you're having a great night. I'm hanging in there, doing all right. Um, yeah, today's topic is going to be called Why People in the Bible Lived for So Long. Um, yeah, it's just why people in the Bible lived for so long. So this isn't definitive. This isn't proof. I didn't do some 5.5 hour deep dive with like thorough notes and stuff like that. This is just me thinking for like 10 to 20 minutes and writing stuff down, because I thought to myself, people from the biblical era lived for 300 to 1,000 years, like 969 or something. There was like Methuselah or something in the Bible, I forget. But like people were living for some outrageous number of years. You know what I mean? So there seems to be two different potential reasons for that. Reason number one, time was different back then. Maybe, for instance, 1 year back then was the same as 1 to 3 months of today's time, or something like that. Yeah, like, you know what I mean? Where it's different. We measured it differently, so that's why those numbers are so different. And I don't agree with that. I don't think that's what it is. Okay. So number two, the other potential reason, the one that I do agree with and that I started thinking on and writing down, is that there would be internal and external conditions back then that were different. So internal and external conditions were different back then. Ding, ding, ding. That's what I think. Bingo. Allow me to elaborate. Okay. We're talking within that, there's those two things I mentioned. Number one, external differences, and number two, internal differences. And for a third one, a possibility is that maybe back then there weren't as many deadly diseases that were plaguing people. There were certain ones, and they would wipe out a lot of people because there weren't necessarily medicines back then. But what if there was just other things too? Like what if we knew how to use remedies, those ancient remedies that were really just things from nature? Because I believe that God put stuff on this earth for us to be able to heal with, clearly. And not as many deadly diseases. Sure, there were no cures back then, but there very well may have also been no need for said cures. You know what I mean? But anyways, that was just like a third one that I thought of in my head. But the main thing is that there's external differences and internal. Now, what do I really mean by that? I'm going to focus on the first two reasons, the ones that I just mentioned. So, external differences, okay? In biblical times, oxygen was far more rich, potent, and pure. Okay? And what I mean by that is we had millions more trees, maybe billions. We had way more trees in nature all throughout the planet. If it wasn't ocean, if it's not blue on the map, then it's green, baby. That's how it was. We had millions more trees, maybe billions more trees than we do today. And guess what? Between us and trees, we are in a symbiotic relationship where they give off the oxygen for us to breathe in, and then we give off the carbon dioxide, and it's a give and take, right? So, this is just what it is. And we had millions more trees than we do today, leading to a much higher concentration of pure oxygen. Okay. Life was in balance with one another. Over the years, we have destroyed countless forests, as in for rest, because you go into the forest for rest. It was like so we could naturally recharge our bodies, and our energetic systems were in a flow state with nature, you know? And that's why people go on walks in the parks or walks in the forest for rest on a Sunday, on a Saturday, just strolling in the park. That's it. So over time, we built more stone buildings and more asphalt roads and much less of nature, much less trees. God built this earth so that we could truly thrive for such a long period. However, over time, we destroyed this God given planet, inevitably leading to our own demise. Less trees equal less oxygen, and that equals less longevity for us. Accelerated aging. Not only did we greatly reduce the oxygen, but the little oxygen that we had left has been tainted by exhaust from cars, planes, helicopters, smoking, the black gray smoke from fires, etc. We destroy that which gives us life, all for convenience. Is it really worth it in the end? That was external differences, as I've just mentioned. The next one is going to be internal differences. So I'm talking about what the difference is within our body. External was what's outside, in nature. This is internal. So internal differences. We eat 3 meals a day every day, like clockwork, sometimes even more. 3 meals a day plus a midnight snack or maybe 2 dinners or whatever, This completely overloads our digestive tract. Our bodies were designed to rest and to have breaks in between consumption. We used to exercise much more and eat less. And what I mean when I say exercise more is just naturally the average person would exercise more. Sure, we have super athletes today and stuff. That's not what I'm talking about. I just mean the average Joe had to exercise more. Had to, because we had to go hunt. We had to go gather berries. We had to go walk long distances. We're not calling Ubers or having freaking people go to Stop and Shop and get our groceries and drop it off at our front door and saying, oh, but sending you a text, oh, food's here. That's not how it was back then, dude. So we would hunt, eat the meat, and then go without until we can find the next meal. Just like every other living creature that is out in nature. If we got really hungry, we would gather berries, leaves, nuts, etc., so that they could hold us over until we could successfully hunt again. And those long breaks on our internal physical body led to longevity and greatly slowed down aging and decomposition of our organs. How do I know such a thing? Why am I saying such a thing? Well, it's called autophagy. You know what I mean? After 3 days of fasting, our bodies begin to heal itself. All the good cells find precancerous cells, attack them, take them over, destroy them. Then it's done. Then you're super healthy again. Within a 3-day fast, after 72 hours, it starts to happen. If you can make it 5 to 7 days on a fast, you can make a full week and just do like bone broth and like water and stuff like that, but no food, 7 days, you are going to heal yourself internally. And this is what they did because they had to. They couldn't constantly hunt and eat 3 deer every day. Like it wasn't like that. So naturally, this was them. They might not have even known it back then that they were healing themselves and living longer, but that's just how it was. And it shows how our beautiful design, the beautiful God design of our bodies, that He had us be out in nature just like that, and we would live for such a long time. And look, we inevitably led to our own demise, and now we are living for 1/8 to 1/10 of the time that people used to live to the maximum in the Bible. You know what I mean? Like, that is crazy. Even like, if we could have a breakthrough in medicine that would get people 30 to 50 years longer so everybody would live to 130 or 150, that would be considered a huge breakthrough. Imagine 969 years old. What is going on, dude? So, so in conclusion, even if it was a combination of these two primary possibilities, things have clearly changed now. If you look back then to now, we should revert to preservation of life. We should plant more trees. That will be more oxygen for us. That will be longer life, more pure oxygen too. We can make these changes. Go to the forest more for rest. Rest and recharge in nature. You could try grounding, where you take your shoes and socks off and you have your bare foot in the grass or in the soil. And when you're stepping on the earth, on the natural earth, not pavement that's like asphalt or anything like that, the real earth, natural earth. And you're going to take in these ions that are the opposite charge. I forget if we're positive and they're negative or if it's vice versa. But that's what it is. And when you have these reverse polarities or whatever, you have these two opposite forces and it's coming in and it's balancing it for us, and that is actually a good thing. Embrace health as wealth. You know what I mean? Like I said in my other video, you are what you eat. So, you know what I mean? Your body is a temple, you are what you eat. And then longevity is the name of the game. We should all be aiming to treat our body as a temple so we can live as long as possible for our kids, for our grandkids, maybe even great grandkids if you play your cards right, you know? Life can be such a beautiful thing. It depends on you whether you want to see the beautiful world that God, creator of heaven and earth, has created for us, or if you just see the Matrix, if you see the man-made version of all on this earth, you know, the banking systems and everything like that. That's all man-made. But me, dude, the the things have fallen off my eyes. You know what I mean? I forget the name of the thing. The scales have fallen off my eyes, and the veil has been lifted, and now I can truly see. And but that's all I got on this topic. I have to get to writing because I'm running out of ideas. I think this was. I actually have one more, but I need to catch up because I like to be ahead. I like to have like 5 to 7 extra ideas laying around at all times, so I'm not stressed out about writing more. But that's all I got until the next one. I'll see you guys in the next one. So until next time, stay safe, be blessed, and live lavishly. I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a great night. I love you all. Peace.